Good morning to all. Welcome back to today's science class, and today we are going to discuss about our third lesson in the 10th block, that is diet chart. Okay, and in our previous lessons we already discussed about for how can we make a diet plan if a person is suffering any kinds of deficiency disease, like that things we discussed. So today we are going to discuss about what is diet chart, to explain the aim of this lesson, to explain that a healthy diet plan depends on age, gender, nature of works and illness. Okay, a healthy diet chart, it depends. So we need to explain a healthy diet plan. How does it depends these factors? Okay, so normally in your home, okay, there is different members are there. Your parents are there, and maybe your grandparents also will be there. And what all the food items are prepared for prepare in your home? Is it same for everyone? Say yes or no. Sometimes we can say no, because if the small children's their age is under 2 or 3, they are having some special food, means other than us. What all the food we are eating, we are not giving like this food to this means that small children, right? Yes. And is your grandparents also taking the same food? Sometimes there is a changes, right? Yes. So why does these kinds of different kinds of food required for different age groups? So before that we need to discuss what is diet plan or diet chart. A diet plan or diet chart tells about what to eat and how much to eat. A diet chart helps us to know about what to eat and how much to eat. Okay, and this diet chart is not same for everyone. It will be different for different peoples according to their age, gender, and we already discussed the nature of works and illness. It may be varies. Okay, anyhow, that is mainly because of this diet chart. It is actually on the basis of a balanced diet. Okay, so mainly we require this diet chart or diet plan is very important. Why? Why we can say that it is very important? Because this diet chart or diet plans helps us to get the nutrients to our body, or and at the same time to maintain our this diet chart help us to give the required amount of nutrients for our growth, and at the same time we can say that maintain in good health. In your textbook, one table here it is given. In this table, clearly here it is mentioned the diet chart for an different age groups children's. Okay, 1 to 3 years. How much amount of cereals, pulses, vegetables, and milk they have to take. On that basis here it is given. And 4 to 6, 10 to 12 year boy and girl, how does it difference? Here when you are looking this, some of the food groups 10 to 12 years boy, if we are considering time, he has to take more amount than a girl. For example, cereals here it is given, and all other is almost same, and some roots and tubers, some differences are there. So okay, so we can say that these kinds of diet chart is mainly depends the person's age, physical health, gender and daily activities. And normally the growing children's requires, and if we are considering about the these kinds of diet plans, here it is given about the suggested diet chart for an 1 to 12 years, between that range of children's diet chart here it is given. So this diet chart like this, some difference you can easily seen in that already you seen in that table. You can also open your textbook for better understanding, and at the same time and you just evaluate that table. Okay, so this diet chart is different, means this diet chart for different peoples will be different. That is mainly because of if you are considering about these children, according to your age, you are growing children, right? So these growing children requires more amount of protein rich food than old people, because this protein, already I told you that protein is a body building nutrient. Okay, so growing children requires more amount of protein rich food than the old peoples. And at the same time, some peoples, they are doing physical activities, means every, okay, so they are means everyone has to do works for getting money and all. Okay, so some peoples, they are doing more physical activities. For example, the peoples, they are working in construction works, and farmers, they are doing much more physical activities, so they require more amount of carbohydrate rich food. Why? Because this carbohydrate is an energy giving food. They are means this that kinds of foods like rice, potato, these all foods are giving energy to their body to do various kinds of works, right? Yes, so this the person who is doing more amount of, and at the same time, if the people those who are going for gym, for physical exercise and all, they are also taking much, they are also intake more amount of this carbohydrate rich foods and all, protein rich food, carbohydrate rich food and all, because they are actually means and at the same time, if the people, they are working in an office, most of the time in an office they have to sit and doing their own works, mainly in IT profession and all. So that time in their diet, they have to decrease the amount of carbohydrate. Okay, otherwise it may leads to the obesity and all. Okay, so like this kinds of diet plan we have, it's very important. If we are following such kinds of, according to our work, age and gender, if we follow a good diet chart or diet plans, then our body becomes more healthy, and at the same time, that means we will not means our body can will get a good immunity, and we becomes more healthy. Okay, and how to give these diets or diet plans or diet charts? Mainly these diet plans and diet charts are given by the dietitians. Okay, these dietitians are the experts. They can recommend what all the foods required for a particular age group peoples, whether women or girl or boy, like that they can easily say that. Okay, so and at the same time they can easily suggest the good diet plans for us. If we are following such kinds of diet plans, it will be means it helps helpful for our growth and development, and at the same time it maintain our body in a healthy manner. Okay, so that's all about this diet chart. This diet chart is different according to the age group. How does it different, that we already discussed. And in your workbook, one table already given. In your workbook, you can see a table. In this table, clearly here it is mentioned about adult men and adult women and their works. Okay, sedentary works, moderate work, heavy works. On that case, how does they have to take the same food groups: cereals, pulses, leafy vegetables, other vegetables, roots and tubers, milk, oil and fats, sugar, jaggery, and how they need to take that kinds of things. Okay, that already shown in this table. You just look your workbook and analyze this table. And one more thing you have to remember, it is very important to have a diet plan to know how much and what to required for our body, as the requirement differ from individual to individual. That already I told you that according, how does it difference from individual to individual? It is mainly because of where it depends on the basis of age, gender means male or female. Okay, that already we discussed in the case of two tables, adult women and adult men, and 10 to 12 girl and boy. Both the cases, that difference we discussed. So every time you have to remember that adult men require more amounts of the cereals and all compared to the adult women. Both are doing the same works, then also there is some difference in their diet chart. That we will discuss why like this difference, because both of them are doing the same work, but the diet chart, in the case of adult men, they have to intake more amount of these items that already given in your textbook. So on that basis we can discuss the workbook answers. In the first S3, open your S3 and we can discuss now. First question, what does a diet chart tells you? A diet chart tells us what to eat and how much to eat. And why does it important? Because it can give a proper amount of nutrients and it helps to maintain a healthy body. So that's why it's very important. Are you clear? And second question, A. Two parts are there. A. Why does a diet plan differ according to the nature of job of adult man and women's? That only in your textbook, this in your workbook, this table you can see cereals. For sedentary works, an adult man has to intake 460 grams, and in the case of adult women 410, and like this differences are there. And sometimes they need to take leafy vegetables. In the case of adult women has to take more amount of leafy vegetables than the adult men. So like this kinds of difference are mainly because of the amount of calories that required for the men is more than the amount of calories required by the women. Okay, so according to this calories, if the calorie is more, means if the food which is contains more amount of calories, that has to take more in amount this adult men. Okay, so on the basis of their means both in adult men and women physically and means they are having in their body some differences are there. Okay, entirely different in each other. So that amount of intake of these kinds of calories, on the basis of calories only we are saying to take more amount of food in the case of adult men. And B, why is it amount of cereals required by the sedentary adult man more than that required by an sedentary adult women's? That here in the first case, sedentary works, that men has to take 460 and women 410. Sedentary works means that less physical activity. The peoples, those who are means like office works, they are simply means they are sitting and doing their own works. No physical activities and all. That only considered as sedentary works. And that is also the same reason because that adult men requires more amount of calories than the adult women. And third question, why is it important to have dietitians in hospitals? And why we are going for hospitals? Mainly if we are sick or any kinds of illness, we are going for the hospitals. So to rectify these kinds of problems or illness, we should consult a dietitian. Okay, and this dietitian are the people who recommends the diet plans according to our age, gender, physical health and all. When we are sick, the body needs nutrients to help us better. Okay, when we are sick, our body requires some nutrients. That nutrients we can't able to say how we are getting that nutrients, which what all the food we need to eat. So all those things can recommend or suggested by a dietitian. So it is very means important to have a dietitian in hospital, because various peoples they are sometimes they are coming to the hospitals for deficiency disease or any other kinds of disease, means we are not healthy that time. Okay, so we need or we maintain or we can maintain our body healthy by taking a proper diet plans from the dietitian. Okay, so that's why here when we are sick, the body needs nutrients to help us get better. Okay, so it is very important to have a dietitian in hospitals. Then fourth question, are the nutritional requirements of people living in very cold countries and in warm countries the same? No, there will be the difference. Means if the peoples who is living in the cold countries, and actually for them they has to take more amount of, means the food makes their body warm. So such kinds of food that people will take. And the peoples those who are living in warm countries, they need to eat the food that can keep their body just cold. Okay, so for example, if the peoples or they are living in cold countries, they can take the more fats containing food, nuts and sugar, and it keeps their body more warm. Okay, so like that it will be difference in both the cases. Okay, then now we, and in this lesson we can just conclude what is diet chart. Diet chart is the, what is diet chart? Diet chart is means, or diet chart can tell what to eat and how much to eat. Okay, and it can means it is very important to follow a diet chart in our daily life. It will helps to get the right amount of nutrients to our body, and at the same time it keeps our body more healthy. And this diet plan is mainly depends the age, gender, nature of works and illness. If we consider about the age, that means the growing children requires more amount of protein rich foods than the old people. And according to the gender, the male and females or girl and boy, that amounts of requirements of nutrients will be different. Okay, mostly this carbohydrate protein rich foods are taken by the men, and the vegetables, fruits, these all the things more in amount by the women. Okay, that is according to the gender. Then nature of works. If a person who is doing heavy physical activities or heavy works like construction works, already I told you that, and if they are going for heavy exercise like gym, if they are going for gym and all, they are doing some physical exercise, so they can take more amount of carbohydrates or protein rich food. And if the person who is working in sedentary works and all, they have to decrease the amount of carbohydrates in their body. And illness that we discussed, we should consult a dietitian, and that dietitians give an proper diet plan for our body, and that time the nutrients we can balance. Anyhow, you have to remember these dietitians are giving the diet plans, it is on the basis of balanced diet. Okay, so that's all about this lesson. And what all the keywords that we discussed in this lesson? Keywords: dietitian and diet chart. So that's all about this third lesson. Now we can discuss our last lesson in this block. Okay, now we can discuss the fourth lesson, and its name is regional food. Okay, and in this lesson we are going to recognize that the diet of peoples varies according to the regions they belongs to. Okay, and what all the foods you are eating in your lunch and dinner? And it means you can say that rice and curries or chapati and all. Is it same for your best friend also eating the same kinds of food in lunch and dinner? Okay, anyhow, you just leave it. And when we are considering time, if we are in it, means we can say that there is a large diversity of food in different regions of India or in all over the world. Okay, there is a diversities of food in different regions in India. Means now we can consider in our own country. Okay, so in India, various regions that peoples they are eating different kinds of food, and we know that some of the food or food especially in Tamil Nadu or any other states of India like North India and all. Okay, so we also love to eat like this food, and in our own Kerala's food also famous in other states of India, right? Yes. Okay, so in each and every states there will be some kinds of crops they are cultivating, and on that basis, so this diversity of food is mainly, we can say that on the basis of climate in that particular area. If we are considering in India, all the places or all the states in India know the same climate, different climates. Normally in North India, there will be some extreme cold and summer and winter climate will be there. And in Kerala's climate, we already know. Actually, in Kerala's that climate is very pleasant climate, right? Yes. But in other states of India, there will be some extreme coldness or warm conditions are there in various months. Okay. So, according to their climate and all, some kinds of crops they can easily grow in that particular regions and all. Okay, so these varieties or diversity of food mainly on the basis of geographical location and climate and crops grown in that particular areas and all. And when we are considering about, in our case, if we all are living in Kerala, and in normally in our meals we have means we normally using seafood and non-veg items like meat, chicken, egg, milk, like this non-veg items we are taking. And in breakfast we are having like chapati or idli dosa, like these things we are taking. And like this, if we consider North Indians, then their places are better place to cultivate wheat and all. So in their means normally they are not using that much amount of rice in their food. They are mainly using the chapatis and chola bhature, like these things they are taking in their food items or their meals. Okay, so anyhow, in different regions in India or in world also, we just consider in India, different regions in India, there will be different food items or different kinds of cultivating crops are there. And some of the, we already learned that the climate is one of the main factor for the crop production, right? Yes, some of the crops, it is, we already learned that rabies and kharif crops, rabi crops and kharif crops. So like this, some places are, or if we consider about North India is good for cultivating this wheat, maize and all. Okay, and in South India normally the cultivation of rice and all, we can say like that. So when we are considering all these kinds of varieties of food in various states in India, if we are taking any kinds of foods in, means the people can take any food according to their availability, they can eat any kinds of food. But we have to remind that we should take a balanced diet to stay fit or stay healthy. We have to take a balanced diet. Balanced diet means that the diet which contains the right amounts of nutritions, 5 nutritions. Okay, and normally we are getting the carbohydrates. We are getting the carbohydrates by eating the rice, maize, wheat and all. Okay, and we are getting the proteins mainly through the fish, chicken and this meat. By taking these kinds of food, we will get the proteins and vitamins and minerals. We are mainly getting the seasonal vegetables and fruits by eating the seasonal vegetables and fruits, right? Yes, now we can discuss. In your textbook, one picture here it is given, and in that picture you can see that varieties of food or diversities of food in various places, and certain dishes of different regions are very popular, like dosa, idli from South India, pav bhaji from Maharashtra, chola bhature from Punjab, biryani, Hyderabadi biryani, you can see in that picture, and fish curry and rice from Bengal, and last picture, momos from the eastern states. Okay, so like this, some of the regions that food items are very popular or famous. Okay, so we already means we are living in South India, then also we are hearing the words like hearing the momos and chola bhature, and when we are consider Hyderabadi biryani, like that items we are also familiar, means we, yes. So in different regions in India there will be different variety, or there will be a diversity of food items are there. So that's all about this regional food. Regional food is mainly according to the geographical location, climate, and the production, means normally crops grown in that particular region. Okay, so on that basis we can say that the how does it varies from regions they belongs to. If we are already, I told you that wheat is more cultivated more in amount in North India. So North Indians are there is a plenty availability of this wheat. So they are making the food items, mainly chapati and all. Chola bhature already I told you, and these kinds of things in breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They are using the same way. Sometimes they are using the rice and all. And in South India, there we are mostly cultivating the rice. Means we are mostly having the rice cultivation, and also we are this rice is mostly available in our place. So our lunch and dinner we are usually taking the rice and curries, fishes, non-veg items, veg items, and all. Right? Yes. So the regional food is on that basis, the geographical location, climate, and crops cultivating in that area. Okay, so in different areas in India there will be different kinds of food items are there, but the main thing they have to keep in mind, wherever we are we should keep a proper balanced diet, then we can stay healthy. Okay, now we can discuss our worksheet. First question, here are some kinds of food items. Identify the regions to which the food belongs. And in first one, while looking, means in this picture, some kinds of part it is not that much clear. So in the first case, you can see that fishes are there. Okay, so fish curry and rice is famous in Bengal or East India. Okay, then next one is you can easily recognize it is Idli Dosa, Vada, and all, and it is famous. This one is famous in South India. And third one, when we are looking, like it's look like an chapati or like pav bhaji and all. So it's belongs to Maharashtra. And last one belongs to North India. North India. We need to write only the place where these foods belongs. No need of writing the food name. Only you need to write the place, means which states of India these foods are available or popular foods. First one is Bengal, and second one is South India, and third one is Maharashtra, and fourth one is North India. And second question, in which region of India is seafood more popular? Normally the South India like Goa, Kerala, this seafood is more popular. Bengal already we discussed fish curries and all. So why? Because of the presence of coastal regions, they can easily get these kinds of seafood. Presence of coastal regions. And third one, why are foods from the other countries gaining popularities in our country? Means we know that already I told you that these countries, different countries food. And nowadays when we are going for the restaurant and we will get the Chinese food, Arabian food, like that things. Okay, so how does it comes to our regions, or that flavor, or means actually we are adaptable for that kinds of food. So we can say that nowadays the improved the means of transport. Okay, so food items like KFC chicken, roasted chicken, like that we are saying KFC. Initially we know that it's from means that is KFC is actually from means this food is belongs to other country like America and all, and nowadays KFC also eating this, means you all means nowadays in restaurant, means like KFC shops are there. So we means that kinds of food also we are getting from the other countries. So that's only meaning of this third question. Why are food from other countries gaining popularities in our country? Okay, so and in our play, and at the same time we can say one more thing. If we are considering in our country, means in India's or Kerala's food also available in other countries also, right? Yes. Why? Because in our country more means number of people they are living in other countries, like if we are considering about UK and the Saudi, these Dubai and all. So they are also means they are everywhere, like shops or Indian shops are there, Indian restaurant and all. So it will be and means we can say that it is actually we can say that it's these foods are countries gaining popularity in different foods from different countries are gaining popularities in other various countries. That is mainly we can say that nowadays with the improved means of transport, foods from one regions can easily transported to other regions and from country to country, and people have started making and eating food belonging to other regions and other countries. And now you maybe already knows about now or roasted chicken at home also we are able to make, right? Yes, and biryani, these all the food items we can easily make from our own home. So we are adaptable that food items and all. So that's all about our fourth worksheet. And today's class we learned in the fourth lesson we learned the keyword, that is nutrition. Okay, the keywords that we learned in today's class, that is nutrition. And that's all about today's class. Anyhow, when I am checking your worksheet answers, some of the students, many of the students, they are writing the worksheet, means what all the things we are discussing through our class, all points one by one they are clearly writing in their workbook. Okay, but some of the students they are not able, means they are writing, means you can write in your own words. After watching the video you can write in your own words, but that should be contain the point wise. Okay, some of them are means the S1 and S2 answers. When I am checking time, mainly the diet plans for malnutritions, we need to write the diet plans. You are means some of the students, very few students, they simply written the symptoms and cause of malnutrition, obesity, rickets and anemia, like that. We need to write the diet plan. So when you are watching the video you have to watch it carefully, and after that you have to write the answers. Okay, when you are writing the answers, to rectify your mistakes you should open your content book, then only you have to write in your workbook. Okay, so anyhow you have to complete our worksheet S3 and S4. That is today's homeworks. Thank you and have a nice day.